I've made videos in the past regarding Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn, and I have stated specifically that this woman is a racist, and I believe that to my heart. Now, Brianna, who is the moderator here, is going to pose several questions to her regarding Donald Trump's speech in regard to the African American community. Please notice that not one time does Marsha Blackburn answer the question specifically, and to an even greater point, Marsha Blackburn does not even say the words African American. So now you tell me what you think.
We're going to go now to Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee. She is a Donald Trump supporter. So you listened to this speech that he just gave in Diamond, Michigan, and this was something different. There were a lot of new things in this speech, but I do wonder, as he tries to reach African-American voters, why is he in a place that is 93% white? Why doesn't he go 5 minutes down the road and talk to the community that he says he's talking to?
Well, I'm not somebody that's involved in making the decisions of where someone goes, nor do I know where the facilities are that will accommodate the type of crowds that they are expecting. I do know that that weighs into those decisions, Brianna. I think the speech itself was wide-ranging and spoke to both the angst that a lot of Americans have, and then also it spoke to what are the hopes for a lot of Americans, getting this country back on the right track, dealing with the national security issues, addressing the jobs and economic security issues, putting some focus on retirement security so that people can retire, making certain that taxes are lower, opening doors of opportunity for everybody. That is what people in my district are talking about, and I got to tell you, I think he hit a lot of those notes today and did it very well.
All right, so she didn't answer the question, and for those of you who don't know anything about Michigan, Lansing, Michigan is one of the larger cities, not villages, not towns, cities in Michigan, and there is no doubt in my mind that they didn't have a facility that could have housed 5,000 or even 10,000 people. If you go to the University of Michigan at Lansing, he could have given a speech there and easily accommodated, 10,000 people just in the basketball arena alone, and he for sure would have attracted a ton of black voters to that rally. Now, whether he wanted them or not, now that's up to you to answer.
What specifically is he proposing that is going to help African American voters?
When you are talking about greater opportunity, whether it's through education or through jobs growth, bringing production back, looking at increasing U.S. jobs, getting that labor force participation rate up, opening those doors of opportunity for people to get back into the workforce, those are going to help everybody, and that is what people want to see. It's been so interesting to me this week being out in my district and talking to voters and talking to people who are employers in the district. One of my counties was even having a jobs fair while I was there. They want to be able to see wages go up. They want to open some doors of opportunity.
Can I ask you though, just because I hear you,
businesses there.
I hear you.
All right, let me stop right there. Again, she did not say African Americans, black, or anything else, and she pivoted directly to her district, which I haven't looked at it lately, but my assumption would be that her district is probably somewhere around at least 85 to 90% white. So she is basically talking about her district, and then she's talking about America as a whole. The question addressed to her was regarding African Americans that she did not answer.
Yeah, increasing jobs, all of these things that are positive, but those are more the results of specific policies. What is he specifically proposing that would lead to that result? What are the specifics? How is he going to get there? Not just the destination, but what is the path to that he's proposing?
Yes, Brianna, let's remember one thing. The federal government does not create jobs.
Bullshit. When the federal government allocates money for highways, roads, and bridges, that's creating jobs for people who are going to go out and repair those highways, roads, and bridges. That is job creation.
The private sector creates jobs, and he has spoken specifically to lowering the tax rates, to reducing federal regulation. You go out and you talk to somebody who has a manufacturing plant, and they will tell you one of the biggest impediments they have are regulations that are coming out of the federal government, whether it's the Department of Labor, the EPA, OSHA, you name it. That is why you're not seeing jobs growth. It is even indeed why some companies are saying, look, if we can't get a handle on this and rein in some of these federal agencies, I don't know if I can keep my doors open. Now, you fix that regulatory problem, you fix that taxation problem, you allow and spur innovation, what are you going to see? Job creation. You can take it to the bank. It is a formula that works every single time, undisputed.
It is disputed because all you have to do is look at the state of Kansas, where they embarked on this tax policy that she's talking about. They drastically reduced taxes on all businesses, I mean drastically, and they reduced taxes on the upper middle class and the upper class. And Kansas has basically had its credit rating downgraded 5 times, and they finally had to realize that they had to increase taxes in order to get revenues back into the state, which were necessary to fund programs such as education, because the people were basically at the point of mass revolt. So she's wrong about that.
I want you to listen to something that Donald Trump said as he made this pitch just now.
I say it again, what do you have to lose? Look, what do you have to lose? You're living in poverty, your schools are no good, you have no jobs, 58% of your youth is unemployed. What the hell do you have to lose?
Okay, so you're listening to that. He's saying, what do you have to lose? That's his line there. Is that enough? And also, what's he going to do when the Clinton campaign comes right back with an answer to that?
Well, I think that what he is speaking to there is the failed policies that you have seen with some of our nation's large cities. And of course, there has been a lot written and talked about in the last year or so about these cities. Detroit itself going through bankruptcy. Detroit, where you are seeing the diminishment of the value of houses in that city. Detroit, which has lost so many jobs. And what he is saying, I believe, is, and you know, it may not be the way I would have said it myself, but he's saying, look, the way things have done, the status quo is not working. What you have seen from Democrat leadership and Democrat elected officials has not served these cities well.
But why not go to Detroit, Congresswoman? It's not very far from where he is. He could go to Detroit and talk about this. I mean, you know that there are venues
you're
big enough
asking me something. I'm not involved in. I'm not involved in where a campaign goes. I don't know how they are choosing the communities that they go into or the facilities they go into, and it would be inappropriate for me to speak to that because I'm not a part of that decision-making team.
She asked her, should he go to Detroit? That's asking you your opinion, and obviously she didn't want to give it. And my assumption would be that she would say, no, he shouldn't go to Detroit. This woman is a racist to her heart, and she doesn't even try to camouflage it. I mean, it's ridiculous, this woman. And she's one of the quote-unquote stars in the Republican Party, but then when it comes to assigning chairmanships for various committees, they overlooked her as well as a whole bunch, actually all but one person who was put on a housekeeping committee as a chairman. So, ridiculous.
If you were giving a speech about women's issues, would you speak to a room of men?
I would prefer to speak to a group of women, but there are times I've thought I probably should be speaking to a room full of men and telling them maybe what I've thought about decisions that they have made and where I think they could have done some things a little bit differently.
All right, Congresswoman Blackburn,
See, and she didn't follow up on that question, because what she should have then asked her is, well, if you're giving a speech about African American issues, shouldn't you be speaking to African Americans? That's the question, the follow-up question that she didn't ask. And I think she was just trying to let Marsha Blackburn off the hook on that one. Anyway, like I said, Marsha Blackburn is a racist to her heart. Her whole history has been that of white privilege. She is originally out of Mississippi. The first actual political job she got, they were given to her, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she's in the House of Representatives, and this is the very first elected office that she has acquired.